Hey everyone, it's Ometer, and today I have a design team project for you guys, and this is for the ArtAttack supply shop. And of course, I will have the link in the description, and then let me show you guys what I made. I'm really proud of myself on this project because I've been wanting to make something like this from scratch so I can also do a tutorial. But let me show you guys what I made, what I used. And also just you guys check out the shop right now. There's tons of stuff on sale. Tracy has a lot of pre-Black Friday ideas going on, and the clearance is tons crazy. So check it out, and if you guys do go to the shop, please let her know I say hello. I use the My Mind's Eye Market Street collection, and I was gonna use a 12x12, but I ended up using the 6x6, and look, here are my scraps because trust me, every piece of paper is precious. I have, and just to show you guys what she has, she does have the journaling card, so if you do the project live, and that's going to be another one of my layouts, and they come with, these papers come with, there's a 6x6 and it comes with the embellishment pack, and also the 12x12 comes with the embellishment pack, and this is a large 12x12, and I have it backwards. It also one of the kits come with the 12x12 stickers. I like to put them all together, and when I store them, I keep them in these little bags, in these big bags, these little bags on my foot, these big 12x12 bags. So, and what I also used was, I had originally made this project with just cutouts, but since I got this this journaling card, and this one I also got in Tracy's shop. This is the Stitch journaling card by Lawn Fawn, and I use this 3x4. I just freaking love it. But most importantly, I did use the Heatwave. Oops, totally knocked off the cap. The Heatwave tool, and this is by We Are Memory Keepers. And Tracy does have this. The starter kit comes with a Heatwave tool and a roll of a bunch of foils. I used the gold foil on this one. She also has the additional kit, and it doesn't look like you get many, but this is 30 sheets in here, in this little pack. And also she does carry the Heatwave stencils, and these are the items on the back. I freehanded this project because I'm crazy and I wanted to see how it came out. So I used the gold foil, like I said, the Heatwave tool, super cool. It's battery operated. So let me show you guys what I made. I made a countdown, a Christmas countdown. Now, I wanted to make something, and look at the gold. I made it look like I scribbled in gold, like a chalk marker kind of situation. And here I wrote this out. Now, if you notice, I do press a little hard. I think that's my problem. I think I press too hard because I'm afraid it's not going to work, but it does work. I'm just neurotic. So I use this, and there's going to be a tutorial at the end of this video. So hopefully I'm going to kind of like jibber jabber less so I can show you the tutorial afterwards. And what this is a Christmas countdown, and I used heavyweight cardstock, and it is actually made out of, the base is made out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet, and it's made so it can fold up flat and you can mail it. Like if you're going to send someone a Christmas card, you can send this as a gift if you want to just sneak something in a package. And this is the super way to go. And here are the journaling cards that I used, and I cut them in half. And I used the paper to mat the front and the back. Look how gorgeous. And some of the papers have the gold foiling. So this is going to be the back. So if it's sitting on your desk or someone's desk, this is what people see. And the little cards flip over to the back. Now, let me show you what I did with the pen, with the Heatwave pen. I went ahead and, like I said, I did this days till Christmas. And here, look at the shimmer. I freaking love it. So on this side, I have, the funny thing is, I realized after the fact that I didn't do a 0, but I would flip this over. I don't like there being a 0 and then the number. I feel like it's kind of, oh, 0, and then, oh yeah, it's 9 days. So this way you can only see the numbers. So let me go through them. And it's just ribbon that's looped through these little holes, and you'll see in the tutorial how I did it. And these are all papers. Like I said, the only thing that I didn't use from the My Mind's Eye Christmas on Market Street is just the base cardstock, because I wanted a heavy cardstock. So here is the 1, and look at my little fancy 2. So that's the 2, and on the right side you will have the other ones. Here's the 0. Look at that, I love it. The 1. And on this side you will have 0 through 9. 2, There's 3. Look at that. And I love how I made it look like it's like scribbled on there. Look at that. I was going to make it solid and, you know, whatever, because initially I made a boo-boo on one and I didn't like it, but I ended up loving the way it came out. And look how this gold just like pops on this red. Here's the 5, the 6, and I didn't use any stencils on this, you guys. I just freehanded this, so it'll look very handmade and very personalized for whoever gets it. There's 8. Look at that. And 9. So, and it's just looped with some ribbon, and once... Oh, clumsy. And let's say, you know, when it's flipped over, you will see these cards on the back just hanging there. But I absolutely love it. And like I said, I have a full tutorial from start to finish on this following right now. And like I said, I wanted something that you can make. It's easy to make. It's quick to make. I do the whole thing right now. So it's very quick to make and easy to make. And you don't need, I know that you just get one of these die cuts, but you can use just about anything. The other papers, there are some papers that are very, simple, and then you can write this on. I just really wanted to use this. But I love the fact that it can be flat. Look at that. That is how flat it goes. And it stands, it either stands like this, right there, or you can flatten this out and you have more of a traditional desk calendar. But either way, it goes like that. And the person can fold it right back up and save it for next year, so it doesn't take up a lot of space for you to save it. And this is the size of this, which of course I think it's funny I didn't figure this out. It's 5.5 by 4 3/4. So 5.5 by 4 3/4, and look how well it flattens out. So it took me a little bit to figure out the dimensions on this, but I do have that in the tutorial. So you guys, thank you. I hope you guys like my project. Let me know what you guys think. I want this to be, I'm trying to think of projects, Christmas projects that are easy to make and that you can send to friends. A lot of my projects, I like them to be functional so people can use them. And this one you can use over and over, or they could pass it off to someone else. So yeah, but look at the shimmer. Look at the shimmer. So yes, so you guys, I'm like totally distracted by this. So thank you guys for watching. Please check out the shop and go ahead and stay tuned for the tutorial, all right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this 8.5 by 11 heavyweight cardstock, and on the landscape side, on the 11 side, we're going to cut it down to at 5.5, because that would give you half of the page. So that is, and you can always measure it to make sure it came out right, because I do sometimes tend to make a boo-boo on that. So now we're going to go ahead and get our scoreboard. But first we're going to adhere these 2 pieces, and you're going to add, I like to use score tape or red line tape because this may be handled, this may be moved around, so you don't want to use just regular adhesive on this, and this will adhere faster than if you do wet glue. So you just go ahead and you want to use up, you want to put glue on. The way I did it is I did half an inch just to make sure it stays secure, because it's easier this way. I found this easier to put it together, and I'll show you how I align the pieces and put it together in 1 second. And I always flip it over to cut this, because I feel that if not, there's always like a little piece left and of adhesive hanging off, and you have to it sticks to stuff. Okay, so my fingernails are stumpy, so I just use a paper piercer, and this is actually a quilling tool. I found it in the quilling section at the hobby shop at the craft store. Okay, so since this is 8.5, you're going to be adhering it at the 8-inch line, and that'll help you align. So you'll just look for the line over here, and to get it right aligned along with that, and since you have it against the edge of your scoreboard, you will have it aligned perfectly. So, and this seam is going to be on the back part of your little countdown little easel thingy-majiggy. And so yeah, so make sure you burnish it, and then we're going to go ahead, since you already have it here, you're going to go ahead and do your scoring. So we're going to start on this side, and this is going to be 1/2 inch, and this is the part that's going to go underneath, which is going to attach to this end when we are done. So you're going to do 1/2 inch. We're going to go 2 1/4, and since this is heavyweight cardstock, you want to do it a couple of times to make sure you get it, and hold your paper because it'll move, trust me. 2 1/4, then we'll do 3 1/2, and 7 3/4. And this is right before that seam. So now, obviously, my scoreboard isn't long enough to do the whole thing. We are going to flip it over now, and we're going to now score the other side of the paper. And on this side, we're going to do 2 1/2, 2 1/2, and then 4 1/2. So that is that. We're going to move that aside. So now we're going to fold everything. So the first one is going to go down, and then we're going to go up, and then this one's going to go down. And I would like to flip it over so I can score it better and varnish it, if you will. So this is the little shelf that you're sticking at, and this one's going to go up. Okay. And then this one is going to go down. Which am I going? Okay. I'm trying to keep it so it doesn't confuse people. All right. And then this one is going to go up. And we'll flip it over. Okay. So now we're going to flip it back. Here's the front. Here's the back. And this is what you should be left with. This funky little hills. You have this one going under, this one going up, down, up, and down. And then you just put it together, and it doesn't look like it goes, but when you fold it together, look, it folds perfectly right on the edge, and that is your little easel. So then we're going to go ahead and put some score tape. And on this one, I just do one strip on the bottom. Reason being is even though it's scored at where the heck is this? It's scored at 1/2 inch. It actually, with the score line and everything, the folding, it ends up being less, and then you will have glue sticking out from the bottom, and it'll stick to itself. So there we are, and this is on the 1/2 inch, the little 1/2 inch score part that goes underneath. Okay, so since it fits perfectly well, it will go, okay, so you will hold it like this and bring it together and hold it right here so you can then connect these parts. Oops, and I booted it up. So you can connect it right along that edge on the other one. Make sure you burnish it a little bit. And there is your little easel. So it stands like this. And if you want it, see it stands this is the side view. You can also press it down like this and it'll lay flat. It'll look like a little tent. This will give it kind of more stability. But nevertheless, you can fold it right back up, store it, send it to somebody, and look at. Okay, so now that you have your little easel countdown assembled, we're going to go ahead and cut out the little panels. So this is 5, the width of this is 5 1/2. So I want it all to have a little cream border. So I'm going to make it everything 5 1/4. So all of your lengths are going to be 5 1/4. So since we've already cut some of the little cards with the L'Enfant, what's this one? Who's it called? It's Stitch journaling card. I have several scraps where I can use these as the panels for the entire part of this, where actually I can use it on the panels on these because some of these they're not big enough to cover that. And here, this is going to go here. So I want something that makes it stand out. So I think this one actually is going to do the trick. I really like the way that looks. It makes it pop. There's a little bit of gold. So I think I am going to use this one because I didn't use it on any of the journaling cards. Oop. Oh my goodness, am I making a mess or what? Okay, so like I said, your widths are going to be 5 1/4 since the base is 5 1/2. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this down to 5 1/4. And so the front part is going to be 5 1/4 by, what was it again? I have the measurements. By 1 1/2. 5 1/4 by 1 1/2, and then the back part is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. So as you can see in here, 5 1/4 by 4. So what we're going to do is, since I can use this entire sheet for that, so we're going to do, once again, what was it? 1.5. So we're going to cut off 1.5 first for the bottom, for the front part. So that's 1.5 for there. And then we're going to go ahead and cut for the 4-inch panel for the back. Now, since this is a 4-inch panel on the front, this one will also be a 4-inch panel if you wanted to decorate the back. So let us go ahead. And this one may seem a little tricky, but it is super easy. All you're going to do is just, and on these pieces I will use my my ATG gun. I know people have had issues with their ATG gun. I've never had an issue. Although I am going to, since my sister's baby shower, I used up so much of my tape, I do have to replenish. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and order a bulk package of it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and you're going to have 1/8 of an inch border around your piece. And we're just going to plant that down. Even though this is on a white background, the pattern really does pop, and I really like that. Now, as far as this, you're going to flip it over so it's easier for you to access that since it is in that little area. And by the way, you can also decorate the little panels before you actually assemble it. I mean, that would have been the smart choice, but that's not how I roll. I fly by the seat of my pants, and sometimes it's a big old mess. Okay, not my seat of my pants. So here we go. And since it's going to be tucked underneath, you are going to arrange it to make sure you have the 1/8 inch border around. And you then just, you always want to make sure you put something on there. And there is that. Okay. There is that. So at this point, you would just adhere the little part to this that you want added. Like I said, I did use this piece. So you want to see, because I'm about to adhere it, and I want to make sure I don't put like glue up on this little corner that that sticks out. And since we're just adhering paper to paper, I'm going to head and use my ATG. Use any adhesive that you prefer. And then I'm just going to center it, making sure that I do not go past the bottom. And there we go. And look it, we're still working flat, people. All right. So now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and see where our little cards are going to go. They're going to be right there. And I do want them, I can take my ruler, boop-a-da-boom, and see where it is centered. And see, look, oh my gosh, I eyeballed it well. It's centered right there. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. Reason being, I will show you, because you can see it better. So I'm going to go ahead and measure it up again to the center. And this is using the Tim Holtz ruler. 0, and you're at 2 3/4 on each side. You're going to go ahead and look where your card is, if I can figure it out here. Okay. And your card is going to be at 2 2. And we're going to do 1 inch, where 1 inch is here, and 1 inch there. So I made a little tick mark where between the 3/4 inch and the 1 inch line. So that is where you are going to then use, this is the punch I use. They still have these available at the craft store. And this is a heavy duty punch. This punches through some serious stuff, you guys. So you will look, you will flip it over, see where that little, and the little tick mark that we made of the 1/4 inch, see it's right there. I don't do it right there. You're going to push, you're going to find it first, and then push all the way to as far as the punch will go. Once again, there's a little tip mark. We'll find it, and then we're going to push all the way and punch. And that will give you your little holes right centered. And since we marked up the back, we can then erase that. And like I said, you could decorate the back. I didn't, because I'm lazy. but I probably should. And you know what? We're going to, because when you sit this on your desk, this is facing you, that's facing the people. And you kind of want it to look nice. So let us then go ahead and pick another one. And this one can be full on Christmassy. Everything. And since, you know what, I didn't use this paper, I'm going to use it on the back. And this is how I stretch my papers. Okay, so we said it was 5 1/4. 5 1/4 width by 4, right? Did I say 4? Yes. 4. Now, if you notice, I always cut from the bottom of my sheet because sometimes I get into the habit. Sometimes these paper pads have that little section here that you can use. It's also printed, and that's why I always cut from the bottom as opposed to the top. And some of these have perforated tops. I don't really care for that. So yeah, so even though we already punched the hole, we're going to put it in. We're going to go ahead and adhere the back. Let me punch the holes, plural. We're going to go ahead and put some tape on this, and you do want to add quite a bit because it will be handled. So you will then measure, and keep in mind, once again, you will have that 1/8 inch space in between all of it. And especially since you have the seam there, you want to make sure you varnish it. Okay. And even though we already have the holes in there, you will just flip it over and you will look for the holes and you will repunch them. And that way, embarrassing, that way you have the holes on both sides. And then this part is decorated. And it looks, I like this print because it could be just about anything. So, okay. So then we're going to go ahead and you will then take your cards, your little cards, let's find this one, and you will see, of course, how they will fit on here. You will have a little bit of a border as well, and this is how they're going to fit, and then you will punch the holes in here. So we will turn this over. Let's find one that's okay. Turn this over, and as you remember, when I aligned it with the ruler, and you don't need this ruler, truth be told, I just use it because it's easy. Okay. So you will have it at in between, so they're 2 and 2. Here's the point. There is the tick mark. This is at a 1/4 inch depth in there. You can make it smaller. You can make it bigger. I mean, go wider or whatnot. Hopefully this is making sense. You guys are probably thinking I'm a freaking weirdo. And remember, you are going to make the tick mark between the 3/4 inch and the 1 inch. So let me show you. This is in the middle. This would be where 0 goes. Let me focus. This is between 3/4 and 1 inch, 3/4 and 1 inch. Now, I made the boo-boo of already cutting my cards in half because you're going to cut them in half so you can have the numbers fit on them. So, I will have to remeasure these, but this is how you'll do it. And then you will take your punch and then punch right into where the tick mark is, because you will then cut this in half. So don't cut your cards right away in half. Mark them first, punch them, and then cut them. Okay? So let me get that done. Okay, so now that I've corrected my boo-boo, I have all of my cards on the right side cards with the hole right there, and the left side cards, because there's only going to be 2 on one on the left side. Now what I did was I went ahead and cut out another one out of just copy paper, another one of the journaling cards, and I lined up half and half, well, part of it, with the right side where the cards would go, and since I of course made the tick mark, and then with this heavy duty punch, just went ahead and punched 4 at a time, and that's what gave me the right the right ones. So do as I say, not as I do, okay? So you can get the right ones. So here they are, and they're going to go here and you can then size them up to where they're going to go right there with the little hole. And you can use ribbon, you can use twine, you can use whatever, and look how they match up right to the little hole. You can't see it. There you go. With that. So then this is where you're going to go and now take your Heatwave tool and add the letters, oh my goodness, the numbers to your cards. And remember, this side is going to have 1 and 2. Because it's going to go, you know, just by, and this side is going to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Reason why I counted as I wanted to make sure I had the right amount of these. So, and when you are done with that, to the purpose of this quick tutorial, you're going to go and then take a ribbon. I lace it through the back, from the back to the front. You will then group your cards, your half journaling cards, and you will group them, push them through the little slot. You will tie this up. You will then tie that up. You can have somebody help you. You could tie it up. You can use twine. You can actually put this through the underneath part, so you don't have it showing, but you can then push it to the back, cut, and of course I'm making this way more difficult for myself. Cut the ends, and you just have a little piece of ribbon, and you will do this to both sides, and this is where then you will be able to flip your cards over for the following days. Well, you wouldn't flip that one because that's going to be the last day. So, okay, I just realized that I wasn't recording the number 2, and I was just jibber-jabbering. So, I like to make the outline, and look, you can see the foil right here. I like to make the outline first, and then go in and scribble. So it looks like you had a gold chalkboard marker kind of chalkboard pen. And so you can see the back, and it has a little foil. I absolutely love it. And these will go right here. They will be attached to there with a little ribbon or twine. So you guys, thank you for stopping by. I hope this was useful. You can use any different kind of foil, any color foil, excuse me. This one, the Heatwave pen does come with red, blue, gold, and silver. So you can go crazy nuts, make several different ones. You can use different little die cuts for this. You can even just make a little banner. This journaling card comes with a banner. You can make 2. You can make one that says Days Till and the other one to say Christmas. So hope you guys like it. Thank you for stopping by. Check out Tracy's shop, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.